In a busy city park that felt like a green haven amid the concrete maze, the afternoon buzzed with gentle chatter and the soft rustle of leaves. Families strolled along winding paths, teenagers laughed in open lawns, and older folks savored the fresh air. Tucked away in a quiet corner near a small, bubbling fountain sat a well-known actor in a plain light gray hoodie and oversized sunglasses. He chose this spot to escape the day's grind, seeking a few moments of calm as the soft murmur of water and chirps of birds filled the air. Yet, as the sun danced lightly on the pavement, an unexpected tension was about to shatter that peace, leaving everyone wondering what fate had in store. A patrol officer, known around these parts for his harsh judgments and unfair ways, was on his routine rounds. His eyes fell on the actor, and in an instant, he assumed that this calm stranger did not belong in such a cherished space. With heavy, echoing steps and a scowl darkening his face, the officer muttered to himself, "This guy just doesn't fit here." Clad in polished black boots that clicked loudly against the brick path, he marched straight toward the seated man. "Hey, you," he barked, his voice slicing through the park's gentle hum. "What are you doing here? This place isn't for loafers." His tone dripped with suspicion, leaving onlookers with a chill of anticipation. What would come next? The actor slowly lifted his head, his eyes steady and calm behind the now-removed sunglasses. "I'm just taking a moment to enjoy the park," he replied, his voice even and soft yet firm. But the officer's eyes narrowed, and his sneer grew sharper. "People like you cause trouble," he spat, stepping even closer. His grip on a baton tightened as he snarled, "Get up, or things will get worse." The words hung in the air like a dare, and the surrounding crowd held its breath. In that suspended moment, every rustle of leaves and every distant chirp seemed to echo the rising tension. What would break the silence first? Before anyone could blink, the officer's impatience exploded. With a swift, cruel swing of his baton, he struck the actor's back. A heavy thud shattered the momentary calm, and a ripple of shock spread among the passers-by. The actor's body jolted from the unexpected blow, but instead of crumpling in pain, he straightened slowly, his eyes now burning with a quiet but fierce determination. "What are you going to do now?" the officer jeered, his words laced with a challenge as he mocked the man's stillness. Phones emerged from pockets, capturing every moment while murmurs of disbelief floated through the crowd. In a dramatic twist that no one could have predicted, the actor stepped aside with a swift, measured move, dodging another wild swing from the officer. In one smooth gesture, he grabbed the baton from the startled cop's hand and flung it aside. The baton clattered onto the path, a stark symbol of misplaced authority. The officer's face flushed with a mix of anger and humiliation as he staggered back, his confidence shattered by the actor's calm defiance. The silence that followed was thick with disbelief, leaving everyone wondering if the day's routine had just turned into a turning point. As whispers grew louder, two other officers soon arrived. One, with a calm but firm tone, stepped forward and asked, "What's going on here?" The actor, still standing tall, explained simply, "I was sitting here, enjoying the park. I never bothered anyone, yet he came over and started shouting without reason." Another officer, having viewed a video on a bystander's phone, confirmed, "It looks like he started the fight." The air filled with a sense of justice as the officers exchanged looks. "If what you say is true, then you've clearly overstepped," the calm voice of one officer said, leaving the troubled cop with little choice but to hand over his badge and weapon. A murmur of approval spread through the small crowd, each person silently pledging that such misuse of power must not go unchecked. In the wake of the confrontation, the atmosphere in the park shifted. A few onlookers stepped forward with quiet words of thanks, each adding to the growing chorus of support. A kindly middle-aged man in a faded cap said, "You did what many of us are too scared to do." A young boy, clutching a small notebook, shyly asked if the actor could sign it. With a gentle smile, he knelt to scribble, "Courage isn't the lack of fear, it's moving forward despite it." A grateful mother, her eyes soft with relief, whispered, "Thank you for standing up for all of us." Each thank you echoed like a small victory, leaving everyone with a lingering question, could one brave act spark more change than anyone had ever imagined? Later, as the evening crept in and streetlights began to glow on the cobblestone roads, the actor strolled slowly away from the park. The day's events replayed in his mind as he merged with a stream of city dwellers heading home. Entering a small, cozy coffee shop, he ordered a plain black coffee and settled by a window. As he sipped the warm drink, he watched the city's lights flicker to life and reflected on the courage it took to stand up when it mattered most. In that quiet moment, with soft music playing in the background, he realized that sometimes, doing nothing is the worst choice of all. His thoughts whispered, "This isn't the end, it's the start of something bigger." And with that, he left the cafe, stepping back into the night with a resolve that shone as brightly as the neon signs overhead. Every step on the familiar pavement carried him forward, each echo of his footsteps a gentle reminder that small acts of bravery can change lives. The discarded baton on the ground remained as a silent testament to a day when injustice met its match. As he reached a busy street corner, a determined young woman approached him, explaining that she had recorded the entire encounter and planned to share it online. "People need to see what happened today," she insisted, her eyes clear with purpose. The actor paused, looked her in the eye, and nodded slowly. "If it helps others know they're not alone, then do it," he said, leaving her with a smile that promised hope. Blending into the city's endless flow of people hurrying home, his steady pace contrasted with the usual rush of the streets. Every glance from strangers now felt warm, full of silent respect, a nod to the power of standing up for what's right. As the night deepened and stars peeked out between tall buildings, he knew that today's story would live on in quiet conversations, shared videos, and the hearts of those who witnessed it. His journey was far from over, each step forward was a promise to keep fighting the small battles that could one day change the whole world. And as he vanished into the city's rhythm, one couldn't help but wonder how many more brave souls would rise when injustice reared its head again.